Jaws Jr. here for a continuing adventure of working on Saddle Mountain Petrified Wood. Now we are looking at the 4 barrels that we've recently got going. And what's ironic is you have different shades of gray for all the same material. So there's something going on there. But what I have discovered, and I was kind of surprised by this, is that this ground down more than what I was anticipating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this barrel. I'll do a partial cleanup. It doesn't have to be cleaned up that well. And I'm going to distribute that barrel amongst these 3 to fill them back up to just over 2/3 of the way full. I will have to take out some of the slurry out of here. And then I'll just add another cup of Coarse Grit, and we're going to go from there. Okay, I wanted to show you after 7 days, the barrel has used up all the grit. That's what you want to see. And it's actually on the thick side too, which is perfect. So, this is the barrel that we're going to distribute across the other 3. So we're just going to do a quick cleanup. We don't even need to worry about getting the grit out because it's still staying in 60/90. But I want to take a look at this. And for the people who do their cleaning, I see a lot of people using just a tiny little bit of water. Now, turn the water on. Jeez, people, it's water. So the rounding is starting to happen. A lot of that calcium deposit is gone. Actually, off of this stuff, all of it's gone. Very good. That's a pretty big piece, but look at what's coming up. Yep. So now, when I give advice out, when I say use water pressure, that's what I mean. Use some water pressure, not just I think what a lot of people use thinking it's water pressure is a garden sprayer. No, put something on the end of your hose, turn it on full blast, and use it. And then I have a way to dispose that. And it's just basically a hole I've gotten dug. And once every 6 months I go out there after it's dried up and dig out the hole, throw that contents of that hole in the trash, and then I start over again. Okay, so here we are again. So I'm probably going to go find a container to ladle some of this stuff out. Because if I take out too much, I can always add some more water. And we're going to have water added into it anyway because we have to clean out these edges really bit. And this is where I just use a little bit of water with pressure. And then I dry everything off, put the lids back on, and start rolling after I put the grit back in. Okay, found something. So that's all I'm doing, just going to empty some of this stuff out. And it is thicker than I even like. So it's a good thing I'm taking some of it out. Because if your slurry is too thick, then it causes the rocks to become suspended in the slurry, reducing the tumbling action. And what this is probably from is all that calcium deposit that was left on these things. This is why I don't really worry too much about overfilling barrels up to like the 3/4 of the way full, is because they get ground down so much. So if you're doing Saddle Mountain Petrified Wood in the future, just remember, it's really going to get ground down a lot. Okay, yeah. Let's get this bucket out of the way. Okay, dirty hand and all, I'm going to start refilling. And you know, I'm going to have to go get that other jar. Okay, here's the other jar. Too much. And I don't want that one in there, it's too big. So I'll put a few more of those in here. There we go. Now, we take the hose, and on a very fine stream, I just rinse out the edge. That's too much. There we go. I just rinse off the edge. So let me do that with both hands and I'll be right back with you. Okay, water levels added back. The barrels are clean except for, see that little speck right there? That little speck could cause a problem, so got to get rid of that. So added 1 cup of grit. Gonna put the lids on them and roll them for another 7 days. But this will have to be done in stages, because I can only roll it for 4 days and I have to shut them off for 5 days because I'm gone. Then I'll roll them for another 3 days. It's not going to hurt anything. It's okay if you let your full barrel set for a short time. Just roll them. It'll break apart on the inside where the slurry has settled. It'll be fine. So, next time I check in here, this will be done with the second round of Coarse Grit, and we're going to determine if we want a third round. We will go through and clean up each one of these barrels after this cycle here is done. And something else, because I'll probably forget this by the time I get to filming again. I lost about 60% not 60%. Oh, I would say I lost about 30 to 35% of volume with this initial Coarse Grit tumble. I was not expecting that much. But again, just consolidate barrels. I added stuff from a batch I did last year that I didn't have enough to finish. So it all works out. What we have is the second round of Coarse Grit is completed. Haven't even stuck my finger in there yet to see what the situation is. But we're going to completely clean these out and then make a determination if I want to go for a third round or go straight into medium grit, or split it up. Some go on to the third round of coarse grit, and some go into medium grit. We'll make that determination next. Here we are, sorting through this material after the 2 rounds of coarse grit. And you know, for what I want with it, I'm calling it good enough. Now this one here is going to be kind of difficult to deal with because of the deep holes in there. It's got to get cleaned up a little bit better. That one's in really good shape. So it goes into there. No issues with that one. Small one, no issues with. That one's agatized with opal on it. Gotta love this stuff. Look at the growth lines on that one. The growth lines. Okay, so this is barrel 1 of the 3. I'm going to go through the same process for the next 3 barrels. Okay, went through it all. It's all going to get moved on to medium grit. That is extra. I went ahead and consolidated the 3 barrels into 2 with some left over. If you remember, I added some once already, so this will be used for another batch in the future where I need to have some filler. So I am going to add 1 1/3 cups of medium grit with some of the white stuff, and it's going to roll for 5, 6, possibly 7 days. Then after that, we'll get going on the pre-polish stage. So I'm gonna let you guys go. We've been through a lot here. I'm gonna bring this video to an end. Yes, I know, a multi-part video, but there's a lot to cover. So just remember, everyone's life is an adventure. Then there's mine here, messing with this beautiful, incredible looking petrified wood from Saddle Mountain, Washington. This is the Adventures of Jaws Jr. Have a good one, everybody. See ya!